Before I dive into this video, it seems necessary to do an actual analysis of a scene from episode 1 of She-Hulk. And I want to apologize because this is undoubtedly a scene that we've all seen entirely too much of at this point. In this video, I take Joe's side and upon further thought, realize he's not 100% correct in his analysis. He's just a hell of a lot closer than the anti-woke right-wing crowd. I am so sorry to play this again, but on the offhand chance you haven't seen this, here is the scene everyone's discussing.
Well, here's the thing, Bruce. I'm great at controlling my anger. I do it all the time. When I'm catcalled in the street, when incompetent men explain my own area of expertise to me, I do it pretty much every day, because if I don't, I will get called emotional or difficult or might just literally get murdered. So I'm an expert at controlling my anger because I do it infinitely more than you.
The right-wing, anti-woke crowd is making a huge deal over this scene because their argument is that this scene is Jennifer Walters, aka She-Hulk, is better than Bruce Banner, aka the Hulk. This is a gross oversimplification of the scene, done mainly because they crop out what happens immediately afterwards. Angry Joe shows this in his video.
So I'm an expert at controlling my anger because I do it infinitely more than you. So all of this just feels like projecting a lot of shit onto me.
See.
To Joe's credit, his read of the scene is much better. So much so that in the video you're about ready to watch, I agree with him. I agree with his read in this video. But the fact is, upon further reflection, I realize he ends up misrepresenting this scene as well, just to a far lesser degree. Here's the rest of that scene.
So all of this just feels like projecting a lot of shit onto me.
See.
No, I'm doing this.
Okay, this is completely new territory.
This scene is not about Jennifer being right and Bruce being wrong, or vice versa. This scene is actually about how they are both wrong. Bruce is wrong about treating her situation like his. She is wrong for assuming he can't give her any help. Bruce is trying to prevent Jennifer from going through what he went through without realizing her situation is very different. Jennifer is annoyed that Bruce is trying to explain something to her that he clearly doesn't understand. A situation that is very different from his. The first episode was about Jennifer's origin, and both her and Bruce figuring out that She-Hulk and Hulk are only similar in cosmetics for the most part. The two are actually very different beasts. And because of that, Jennifer has to figure it out on her own. This scene is about how Jen can lose control just like her cousin, but she is also capable of bringing her rage to heel much more effectively than he can. It is literally a scene showing their similarities and their differences, and how she isn't completely different from the Hulk. But she is different enough that perhaps his guidance isn't what's best for her. Anyways, now that I've had time to analyze this scene and am completely burnt out on it, it's clear this is what the scene intends and was all about. Jennifer has a lot to learn about being a Hulk, and it is something that Bruce can't really teach her. She has to figure it out for herself.
Why does saying that piss off men so fucking much?
Okay, so goddamn based. Thank you, Angry Joe. This Organized Chaos video is brought to you by Gems Art Studio. This video is also brought to you by viewers like you. Thank you. Hello again. Doing a request this time. So this is from the Juice Main. I don't think I've seen you on the channel before, but you had an interesting request. It was something I was thinking of covering, so here we go. Please watch Angry Joe's video about people being pissed we didn't like She-Hulk. I would love your take and would get a lot of views. Thank you. Well, I don't know if it'll get a lot of views, but yeah, I was thinking about looking over this. So Angry Joe has been doing like movie reviews and, media reviews. And I'll go ahead and be blunt. I've not found his opinion all that helpful on the videos I've watched. I don't know if he has great analysis chops for this type of thing. That being said, as far as like the people I liked, the anti-woke crowd, I've never got the impression he was like that. I've always gotten the impression with him that you're getting an honest and truthful reaction, that he's just a fan of a lot of stuff, and you're just getting a truthful reaction from him, which is something I do appreciate, especially in this day and age in YouTube, in the movie community in YouTube. It's becoming way too infrequent to see stuff like that. He is a very big YouTuber for his video game stuff, which I will say, I'm not a huge fan of his movie reviews and media reviews, but I do like his video game reviews frequently. His angry reviews are usually a lot of fun. But he apparently got some flack over his opinions on She-Hulk. People are pissed we didn't hate She-Hulk episode 1. And we get on the thumbnail, Angry Joe is a Disney sellout, worst review ever. And we get a picture of that Ben Shapiro video that I did last time. So I'm interested to see what he has to say. Because I've seen, like, the anti-woke crowd really getting, like, I've been calling out these guys for a few months now. But I've been seeing more of your normal, like, weekly reviewers getting annoyed at these people. Starting to realize, Jesus Christ, these people are obnoxious. So let's see what he has to say. I have a feeling I'm going to agree with him a lot. But let's see.
Oh man, I just saw the fucking reaction to my She-Hulk video, and I'm taking the bulk of the blame on this. Everybody says that Alex is right and I'm wrong, which is weird because Alex gave it a 7 out of 10, and I gave it a 7 out of 10. But I understand it's my show, and Joe gave it a 5 out of 10, so you're probably more in line with what Joe said.
Okay, from the negative reaction, I was thinking he would love it, and, like, I enjoyed it. I didn't love it. I actually thought episode 2 was a bit better. But yeah, I thought episode 1 did its job to get things set up. We'll talk about when we get to it in the podcast. That should be coming out next Tuesday, where we cover the first 3 episodes of She-Hulk.
I get it, it's my show, so I'll get the most of the flack on this. People are calling me sellouts. They say if Joe doesn't give this a 0 out of 10, then he is afraid of being canceled. Calling my integrity into question, and really just attacking the channel. And
yeah, my channel's been going through this stuff all the time, nonstop. I've had to ban so many people recently. Yeah, it's bad. It's kind of interesting, someone as big as Joe experiencing something similar. Quite frankly, the fact that a lot of these anti-woke movie YouTubers have become so popular really shows the issue with them, because now a lot of people on the movie YouTube circuit, the fans of movie YouTube, really seem to be like really thinking everything has to be judged on a woke lens, and it's like the worst way to possibly judge things. It's insane how they do this.
And I'm really surprised by the reaction. I think the biggest thing that I said that was wrong was that I don't care about power levels. Comparisons. They said, Joe, you would be pissed if Wonder Woman was stronger than Superman or shown to be as strong as Superman. It's one example. Another example is, oh, Joe, you're a fucking lying sellout. You would totally care if they showed Supergirl pwning Superman over and over, or shown to be as strong as Superman. And I thought about that. And I said, you know what? I actually don't care if Wonder Woman is shown at times to be as strong as Superman. It doesn't bother me like it bothers you.
Based. Awesome, Joe. I 100% agree. It all depends on the writing. Wonder Woman is naturally not typically shown to be stronger than Superman. I believe Supergirl is actually typically shown to be slightly stronger than Superman. But it all depends on the context. It's 100% possible Wonder Woman is a super skilled fighter. In fact, I'd go so far as to say she's a more skilled fighter than even Superman. Superman has so many powers, he doesn't need to really learn how to fight. He just has some experience with it, with all the times he saved the world. Wonder Woman had to learn how to fight, so she's a much better fighter. So the idea of her somehow gaining the upper hand over him in a fight, it'd be tough, but I don't see it being outside the realm of possibility. It depends how they write it. It all depends.
Or it hurts your ego so much. If they show Supergirl getting a bunch of good punches in on Superman, actually hurting him, I would say that's in character and that's part of her power level. And I wouldn't give the show a 0 out of 10 if in a training sequence she gets good hits on Hulk. But that's what you've done here. As you've said that because She-Hulk can take Smart Hulk. See, that's the thing. I did not clarify what I meant. I wasn't talking about Hulk, because Hulk as we know him no longer exists right now. It's Smart Hulk. It's crazy. Like, okay, but let's look. I get it. I totally get it. I find talking down to men constantly fucking annoying. I do. I get that some of you's whole identity is anti-woke, and if there's something fucking woke, it deserves to be a -1 out of 10 on your scale. I totally understand that from an outside perspective, but the culture war doesn't matter that much to me. I get it if it starts to ruin my favorite things. I'm totally with you. I hated it when it was in Star Wars. We had Admiral Gender Studies literally talking down to Poe with the worst fucking plan. This Rey Mary Sue character who never really earned anything, and this new Disney Star Wars that never really had a direction. I agree with all that, and I get it.
I think calling Rey and Mary Sue is kind of a stretch. I believe, essentially, there are explanations for a lot of her abilities. So I think calling her a Mary Sue is just never quite hit me right. The Holdo stuff, again, it never quite hit me right, because Poe, like, she talked down to Poe, because from her perspective, this is just a guy who got demoted by Leia. This is a guy that Leia was not impressed with and demoted just recently. That's what she knows of Poe. So yeah, she's not impressed with him. As for Disney Star Wars, the sequel trilogy not having a clear direction, that's an absolutely valid complaint. I would 100% agree with him on that one. It's an issue with that trilogy. I don't know if I've brought up on here, but essentially the problem was J.J. Abrams had an idea for the trilogy that he wanted to do, and he passed his notes on to Rian Johnson. Rian Johnson didn't like the notes, so Rian Johnson and Colin Trevorrow, who was supposed to do the ninth one at that point, they came up with their own plan. Colin Trevorrow was fired, but Rian Johnson went ahead with the plan. Then J.J. Abrams was rehired, and he did as much as possible to bring it back to his original plan. And that's how come we end up with a fucking mess. They had a plan. They just didn't follow through on it, and it comes off bad.
I understand.
Oh, yeah, and I also, I don't agree, he was talking about, hey, you don't like it being, men being talked down to, which, again, it has to do with context. Most of the time, I don't think it's a big deal. Lots of times when people complain about it, it's not even men being talked down to. It's not.
But even those pieces of media, I didn't give a 0 out of 10. So for you to walk in here and say that I'm lying, I'm deceitful, I'm uncritical, if I don't give She-Hulk a 0 out of 10, I'm afraid of being canceled. You guys have gone way too fucking far. A segment of you, I'm not talking to all of you, I'm talking to a segment of you that gets riled up, that complains about my 40-minute videos while watching a 45-minute angry rant about episode 1, an hour-long rant about episode 1 and how it's man-hating. Then you come and complain that my video is 40 minutes when we talk about other things besides the swipes at men. But let's talk about the swipes at men, okay? It's mainly, I think, what really triggered so many dudes was this scene right here.
Bruce, I'm great at controlling my anger. I do it all the time. When I'm catcalled in the street, when incompetent men explain...
I'm really interested to hear what his take is. We've already seen this scene ad nauseum if you've been watching the channel. This is definitely the scene they're getting triggered by.
My own area of expertise to me. I do it pretty much every day because if I don't, I will get called emotional or difficult or might just literally get murdered. So I'm an expert at controlling my anger because I do it infinitely more than you. So all of this just feels like projecting a lot of shit onto me.
See.
The problem with that scene is she goes too far and takes a swipe at Bruce, saying infinitely more than you, while disregarding all of Bruce's experiences. And it simultaneously triggered every single MRA member, men's rights activist, every anti-woke person on the internet collectively exploded at once. Because I think they think the show was supporting her point of view. When I think the point of the scene was that she says she could control her anger so much better than Hulk, simultaneously losing it, becoming too angry, and turning in to She-Hulk.
Yeah, I brought that up in the Ben Shapiro video. That's exactly what it's about. The fact is, she doesn't know how to control it quite as well. But yeah.
Thus proving everything that she just said was bullshit. Okay? Now, I don't understand why you can't allow women to say, hey, catcalling sucks, it makes me angry. Hey, being mansplained my own position and having my ideas taken by men or whatever pisses me off. Having the possibility of being killed and raped in an alley or being fearful of that sucks.
So this show looks just garbage. I will be honest with you. I'm sorry. Is you lecturing in the most tendentious fashion about how hard women have it in the United States in the middle of a comic book show? Is that hugely important?
Why does saying that piss off men so fucking much?
Okay, so goddamn based. Thank you, Angry Joe. He actually said it way more succinctly than I've done in the past few videos. Yeah, it's like, why does saying that piss people off? It's a great, like how he just said it. I love it. Thank you, Angry Joe. Yeah, why does a woman saying, hey, don't mansplain things to me, why does that piss people off? She's saying don't do it. Don't.
Say women are so victimized, they're constantly having to hold back in the face of male aggression. And it needs to be promoted to teenage boys who are watching She-Hulk.
Infinitely more than you. Again, tying into, I'm better than you. A woman screaming at your face, I'm better than you.
Because I'm better than you?
You're not an incel. You don't hate women.
So if we're just talking about like who gets killed in the United States, like in terms of homicide victims, I'm going to note that men get killed way more often than women.
Part of this scene is her being an asshole, ignorant, a bit of a bitch. Is she putting truths in there? Yes, there are some truths in there. Is she right? No, she's wrong. And I hope the show realizes that, and I hope that's the idea the show is conveying. If it's not, and we see that in episode 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, fine, you got me. But I think this particular scene really fucking bothered men, some type of men.
You want to create an opening for market competition so that we here at Daily Wire can make kids content and take away some of your market share? I'm happy to do it. I mean, I'm fine with it. Makes me more money. Makes me more money. Makes me more money.
Oh, I'm an expert at controlling my
Thank you for the shots at Ben Shapiro. Yes.
anger because I do it infinitely more than you.
She was being self-absorbed. She was being ignorant of what other people have been through. She was attacking Bruce. You know, when you're going off, when you're self-righteous and you don't realize what you sound like. I think I'm hoping that that's what that was.
Has he gotten better at media analysis? This is actually a really good take. Yeah. Good job, Angry Joe.
And that she has a arc to go on. That she's going to learn so much from that. Now, it's possible that no, that's not the way it was. That's the way I saw it, though. And that's how I called it. And that's how I reviewed it. It didn't hurt me and my ego down to the core where I was like, nope, 0 out of 10. This show hates all men.
About how hard women have it in the United States in the middle of a comic book show. Is that hugely important? Homicide victims? I'm going to note that men get killed way more often than women.
They literally want every single man in the world to drop dead and die. Men's rights activists, rise up. Stop this show.
But we have to keep pushing.
Okay, I get the sense Joe's been dealing with these people for a while. He may not have done videos on them, but yeah, he's been dealing with the anti-woke in his comments for a while, at least reading them. And yeah, he's getting bothered by him. And Angry Joe, I just want to say welcome to the club. I've been quite infuriated by them for a while. I didn't even realize, like, I just made a couple videos making fun of some of these anti-woke reviewers, and I didn't realize how many people would get pissed at him. It made me realize, Jesus, this is a serious problem. Like, if I made fun of Megan Basham's review of Eternals, and, like, most part people are just like, oh, wow, she's bad, I may not have gone down this pipeline. But lots of people were, like, triggered by that. Just like, she has some base takes. How dare you? You're a Disney sell. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? She's bitching because some C-list Marvel characters have been gender swapped. As a hardcore comic book fan, even I don't care.
The idea that women are victims in the United States. They're part of the victim coalition here in the United States, and you have to hear it from She-Hulk. She-Hulk will tell you about it. It's so important, guys. I mean, I'm fine with it. Makes me more money. Makes me more money.
Now who's smoking?
I'm going to read this for you. After realizing who Joe is, I encourage everyone to rewatch his commentary on recent controversial shows. You will notice his rating methods are based on self-denial, ignorance, feigned interest, excuses, naive optimism, and promotions for the leftist agenda, where he approaches the realization of irredeemable status of this show. It's an irredeemable show, guys. At the end of it, all he's left with trying to rationalize his uncritical, deceitful, insulting, biased decision-making. Because I gave She-Hulk a 7 out of 10. Alex is so much...
Yeah, I mean, 7 out of 10 is about where I'm at with it. I enjoyed it. It's not the best thing ever, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good starting point.
Much right. I just want to watch Alex talk about it. He gave it a 7 out of 10. You guys are talking out of your ass.
Thank you, Joe.
We who have noticed and made it known don't need to fear the undermining of integrity or baseless accusations that follow, because it never changes the reality of what has happened, does happen, and will happen, and such is the benefit of clarity that comes from valuing the right principles. Gobbledygook nonsense. Fucking nonsense. If you want to unsubscribe from the channel because I didn't give She-Hulk episode 1 a 0 out of 10 or a rating much, much lower, then do it. We don't need you here.
So goddamn based. Thank you, Angry Joe.
If I lost 1 million subscribers over this, over a differing opinion, I would still be able to sleep at night. Because a woman screamed at you, and you were like, how dare you, and you're taking it out on the show. You're saying, and if you look at this, you bros rate woke content like the majority of IGN reviews. I mean, I gotta be honest with you. I really just don't care that much about the woke, anti-woke culture. It doesn't matter that much to me. If there's a few swipes at men from a female director, a female writer, I don't immediately shut down and get my panties in a bunch and start screaming bloody murder and make a 45-minute angry rant video over it. Some people do, and I get it. That's their thing. Look, I'm called Angry Joe. If somebody is ripping us off in a video game, I'll make an hour-long rant and I'll get my panties in a bunch. That's my passion. If your passion is, men are getting insulted and men have feelings too, go at it. That's great, man. That's wonderful for you. And there's a whole subcosm and microcosm and revenue generation stream on YouTube and personalities that you can.
Yeah, so I don't have much to add. I agree with him just so goddamn much right now. It looks like I don't agree with him with Miss Marvel. I thought Miss Marvel was all right. Actually, I thought Miss Marvel was pretty goddamn good. But yeah, like what he's saying, like if he didn't like Miss Marvel, that's fine as long as he gave his honest review. I don't want to see a review of Miss Marvel that's just like, oh, she's a Muslim woman, and I don't want to hear people talk about that. Well, then go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself on that review. Just tell me whether or not you enjoyed it. And I'm getting the sense from him he just genuinely didn't enjoy it, and I can respect that. I can't respect it if you're just pissed because she's a Muslim woman. And yeah, what he's saying right now, fucking based.
Listen to and let them rile you up. But, it's honestly starting to turn into, if anything has a female lead, then it's slanted. And certain people are going to hate it. Certain people are going to pick at it. Certain people are going to blow things up. And it's getting crazy, man. It's getting ridiculous. And I'm not a part of that. You know what I mean? I'll call it out when I see it. Like, look, when I see a bad character like Rey, right? I think Rey from Star Wars is a bad character. I think Admiral General Studies from Star Wars is a bad character, an annoying character. And I get it. This episode from She-Hulk, she was so annoying. She was abrasive. She was, she really hurt your feelings. I get it. And I just think that's a part of her character arc. And I've seen people act that way before. And I've seen people grow into better people from that before. But when you're depicting that type of person and then you immediately give it a 0 out of 10 because of the type of person that she is, I mean, I think that's going a little bit too far. If you want to say, look, it's a boring ass show, that's fine. Like, I totally agree with you. I could totally see you saying that. But to say that the entire show is about men suck and women are flawless, I think you're missing the point. I don't think that that's what it's saying. There's a few swipes at men.
I have been analyzing your blood, and the way it synthesized gamma, I was able to use it to completely heal my arm.
Oh. Because I'm better than you?
It's just basically different.
In a better way.
There's a few female perspective things and looking at things from a female perspective, but that doesn't mean that females are flawless.
You with anyone?
I'm waiting for my ride.
What's your name?
I think my boyfriend's just
Come on, where you going? Let us keep you
Hey, we're just being friendly.
Yeah, where you going?
So what, you two gonna talk to us?
I'm so sick of this. Like, anytime there's any fucking social commentary in any comic book, anything, people fucking flip out.
Yes, they do. And social commentary's always been part of comic books. It always has been. Fucking X-Men is like the most obvious social commentary story ever, created by Stan Lee in the fucking 60s. He made it about race struggle. I know Bryan Singer in the movies made it more about homosexual people. What do you say? Gay people? Homosexual people? I don't know the proper way to say that. I apologize. I'm not woke enough for it. And Bryan Singer's got his issues for damn sure. But yes, the fact that the X-Men storyline is very much built around just commentary towards issues like this. Yes. And comic books having a commentary towards issues like this, yes. That's a thing. That's part of what they are.
Certain segment of men flip out, let's be honest. If it's by a female, if it's a female-led show with a female director, with a female writer, and takes any amount of swipes at men, whether that has a point or not, it has no right to bring up any of those female experiences in this female-led show, female-centric show with a female perspective. They're not allowed to approach it. Otherwise, it becomes woke garbage. It becomes an attack on all men in the entire universe. And they say that all women and all men are at war. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Grow thicker skin. If it seems like your ego is hurt because they're showing catcalling and a woman gets pissed off that she's being catcalled and you take it poorly, examine yourself. Take a moment's pause. Do you really give a shit? Do you think it should be there in a female-centric show? Do you think it's okay for them to bring that up? It's not everybody, and it's just not everybody. What if they did the same shit with Superman? How would you react? Again, the only thing I care about is good characters, good. The only thing that I care about anymore is good characters, good writing, good stories. I think She-Hulk has the potential to still be all of those things. It's episode 1, for Christ's sake. I mean, to judge the entire series on that, it's just crazy, man. Okay, but that's how some people want to run it. And you're going to be so pissed at me that I didn't hate it as much as you did. That the comments are going to become a complete cesspool like that. You know? It's disappointing. It's fucking disappointing. You guys do a good job with these. So it's not everybody, you know. You guys do a good job with these reviews. Thank you. What if they did the same shit with Superman? How would you react? Again, I will address this. If they show a fucking training montage with fucking Supergirl able to throw rocks as far as Superman, it really wouldn't hurt my feelings that much. It really wouldn't. Now, if they do a whole entire episode of Supergirl beating the hell out of Superman, guess what? It wouldn't really bother me that much if it is in the right context. Did you know when she went to Apocalypse, Darkseid turned her against Superman and she fucking kicks his ass? She can kick Superman's ass. Can She-Hulk take Hulk by surprise? Yes. Now, I get it, your fucking ego, and you get so hurt when you were woman-splained. It was woman-splaining what she was doing. They say it's mansplaining. That was woman-splaining, right? And dismissing Bruce's experiences. That was fucked up, and you can be upset about that. I just, I thought I was being reasonable. I thought I was giving people the benefit of the doubt to, prove, what they want to do with their characters and their story. But if you guys want to have this overreaction, you want to stop everything, stop the presses here at episode 1, that's fine. And call me a sellout, that's fine. And I don't shy away from stuff like this. It just sucks that, the culture war has grown so big to the point where this kind of stuff would happen. Like my comments.
Hey, I tried to avoid it for years as well until I just decided to do some fun reaction videos, and then I realized, Jesus Christ, this is a serious issue. And it is. It's a serious issue. Movie YouTube is just overrun by the anti-woke right now. It's obnoxious.
On that video is an absolute cesspool. And if it upsets you and you leave the channel because you don't agree with me or you unsubscribe because we don't agree on an MCU show, that's fine. I think you'll sleep better and I'll sleep better. Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye.
Okay, so I don't have as much... I didn't say as much during that because I largely agree with him. Like I said, I don't agree with a lot of his opinions, but I feel like he's probably become a better critic than I remember him being. He's quite good. That was a very good analysis from him. So I'm definitely going to comment. All right, so... My comment? So based. Thank you for saying this, Angry Joe. Very articulate and well said. We need more big channels calling out this anti-woke garbage trying to pass itself off as media reviews. And I'm already subscribed. I would subscribe again if I could. But yes, I need to give this a like. Like I said, I don't agree with a lot of what he said about Star Wars. Looks like I don't agree with a lot of what he said about Ms. Marvel. But I don't think he's attacking it from the anti-woke perspective. I've never thought that about Angry Joe. And that was just an unbelievably base take he had there. Just, I don't have much to say other than fucking well said. Well said, buddy. Angry Joe, just, I have so much more respect for Angry Joe than I ever have before. He just, damn. Damn.
They think order and chaos are somehow opposites and try to control what won't be.
Do you enjoy pain?
Pain don't hurt.